Time does not start until I start moving on the map. So which is going to be about a minute and 47 seconds from now. So you guys ready?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter. They can just start it. And...
I'm in control of this. So, are you two ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, here we go. All right, hello everyone. My name is MChangerGreat, and this is New Super Luigi U for the Nintendo Wii U. This is the DLC for New Super Mario Bros. U for the Nintendo Wii U. Where everything in this game is very identical to Mario U, with the exception of the levels. However, the levels are similarly themed, Luigi plays a little bit differently than in than Mario, where Luigi has less friction than Mario's, which means he slips more, and he has and it makes quick turning a lot harder. He also jumps higher and has floatier physics, so it makes the movement of this game like super difficult. There's also another gimmick. Every level in this game has a 100-second time limit, which sounds really bad in a casual standpoint, but really the levels in this game are very short. So
they're all about 20 or 30 seconds long.
Yeah, at most, for the most part. I guess while we still have time, let's go ahead and introduce yourselves, guys.
I guess I'll go first. I'm Diamond Character A.
Just go ahead, DCA. It's fine.
Okay. I run most of the games in the New Super Mario Bros. Series.
Okay, hold on. Ready? And go.
Alright. Let's get the run started.
Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the game's main power-up, which is the Super Acorn, which is going to allow me to turn into a squirrel. And as the squirrel, I can fly through the level. The goal of the run is to keep the Super Acorn for as long as possible.
Yeah, are you gonna go for backup acorns?
Maybe. It depends on the run.
Okay.
It depends on how this run's going.
Myself real quick?
Was that? Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so on the other commentator video, I don't run this game, but I run every other game in the new Super Mario Bros. Series, and I'll eventually get around to running this one. So yeah. So I noticed you did one too as Luigi.
We'll explain more about what that means later. But when you but basically in this second level right here, I grabbed the star on the left, which not only makes me invincible, but it gives me a bit of a speed boost, so that you run a little bit faster. And I hit this other block that also gives me another star, and which only contain the star if I hit it with the star, so I can continue carrying star power throughout the rest of the level.
Yeah, you don't want to float when you have the star, because it only increases your speed if you're running. Just kind of interesting.
Alright, do you guys want to talk about Nabbit?
Yeah, so here he's gonna switch to a new character to this game called Nabbit. Nabbit controls a little differently than Luigi, but his main advantage is that he doesn't take any damage. And so
advantage to him, though, is that he cannot grab power-ups.
Yeah, so like he can run through all these dry bones here at the end, which is why you would use him for this level. There's a lot of other differences, but we'll kind of touch on those in some of the other levels. Because you would think if he doesn't take damage, why not just do every level as Nabbit? But Nabbit can't fly the same way Luigi does with the acorn, so not every level is going to be faster as Nabbit.
Yeah, there is a category where you only use Nabbit, but that's not a very exciting category to run, nor is it a very exciting category to watch. So, yeah. So that was Boom Boom. Boom Boom is the boss of most towers, where it's very simple most of the time. You just jump on him 3 times.
Yeah.
And I think I forgot something.
Yeah,
don't
you did.
don't say anything.
I guess you can go back and get it if you need to. This level right here, you'll see M-Chan doing spin jumps off of these platforms. That conserves the momentum that he gets from them, and so he starts moving a little bit faster once he's off of them. It just saves a little bit of time. I don't know if that works at normal jumps. I believe it's just spin jumps.
No, it does not work. It does not work with spin jumps.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, normal jumps.
So, okay, go ahead.
No, go on.
I was just gonna say, levels like this one, where there's a lot of enemies that you normally have to wait for, are the ones that you want to use Nabbit for. So this would be like a perfect example of like a Nabbit level.
So I did that level as Nabbit. There is actually a strat with Luigi that's about like that is pixel perfect, where you can go through one of the groups of piranha plants. But that's considered an IL strat and not really RTA viable. It is that hard that we don't do it in the Luigi category. So this is our first castle. Castles tend to be more harder than the tower levels. Most of the time. Oh, that is our first mistake. All right, we're good.
Whoa. That's not a big deal.
Yeah.
That was close.
I was supposed to jump from those blocks there, but it's okay.
Yeah. Is there a reason that you don't do that level as Nabbit?
It doesn't matter, but it's just easier with Luigi.
No, okay.
So
Yeah, M-Chan.
want you to mute your mic because of the TV in the background.
It's a little bit loud. We can take over, it's fine.
Yeah.
But I also want to do some talking.
Yeah, it's just the mods are saying to mute it. Alright, I think he's muted now. Which is a little unfortunate because he knows this game really well. But this is okay. So I believe he switches to Nabbit for 2-1.
No, we're gonna play as Nabbit no, we're not playing as. So we usually play as Nabbit on levels where there's a lot of enemies, and there's also a few other reasons too, which we'll go over later. But that was World 1. World 1 is super easy. No one makes any mistakes, except for me, obviously. So, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, one thing I do want to talk about though. So in this game, even though he uses Nabbit for certain levels, he doesn't appear as Nabbit in the world map. That's actually changed in the Switch version of this game, and that actually lets you like skip these cutscenes where Nabbit like comes and I don't know what he does, but he comes onto the world map. And so in the Switch version, you would play as Nabbit in certain levels to skip the cutscene after those levels, so this would be one of those. But it is actually faster to do 2-1 as Luigi.
So yeah, it's Toad that comes and screams that Nabbit has taken his son.
Yeah, you can see the cutscene right here. In the Switch version, you would not see this cutscene since you played 2-1 as Nabbit, and the game doesn't want to have two Nabbits on the world map at the same time, so it just doesn't play the cutscene. But unfortunately, you can't do that in this version. Although the next level, I believe he will.
Yeah,
be
there's some
using
levels where, well, in 100%, you actually have to catch Nabbit because it's one of the requirements for 100%, and the reward that you get is a PA corn. But it's not worth it in this category because that's just way too far out of the way to do so. In 100%, you actually do use PA corns to for some levels, and there's some really cool strats with utilizing PA corn.
Yeah, what the PA corn is, it's basically the same thing as the acorn, except that you can fly infinitely, which lets you skip a lot of stuff.
Kind of like the peeping from Super Mario Bros. 3.
Yeah. And there, you can see he slid down a lot of the slopes. It's just a little bit faster than running down them.
Yeah, basic form of movement is you slide down slopes and you jump over as many up slopes as possible for most 2D Mario games. Alright, this is one of my favorite levels in this run.
I think the ending of this level in particular is really cool. He's gonna enter a door, but there's not gonna really be anything under the door, so he's just kind of gonna walk on air.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool to watch. Yeah, you'll see.
If you could do that in a normal game, this game would be so much easier.
But you'll see he uses Luigi for all the vertical levels, and the main reason for that is that Nabbit doesn't jump as high as Luigi, and Nabbit also can't do all those little flying motions he does with the acorn, since Nabbit can't get power-ups. So, yeah, that's kind of the main advantage to Luigi versus Nabbit.
So in this fight, Kamek powers up Boom Boom to make Boom Boom do something different, to make it seem like he's harder. But usually we know the attack patterns for most of the bosses in this game, so it's nothing like terribly difficult. So like right there, you jump at a very particular height to jump on Boom Boom the first time while he jumps right away.
Here comes the biggest RNG point of the run.
Best part.
These enemies right here. It's kind of like Super Mario Bros. 3. You want to avoid the enemies on the overworld map, because otherwise you'll get into an encounter with them and you'll have to fight them, and it just wastes a lot of time.
Yeah. And there's also an acorn that you can get as well, which I mean, you can technically skip it, but it's not faster to try and avoid it. So you just kind of hope that you either get it or not get it. It's not a big deal. It's only just 6 seconds loss. But we'll see what happens. Okay, we got the acorn. We just gotta avoid these enemies here.
Oh, spoilers. I think you're only like 5 seconds ahead of us, so it's not a big deal.
Alright, we're through. We are in there!
Nice.
And that was a little scary at the end, but you got it.
Yeah. So here, there's the split path, and he's gonna do 2-4 for the secret exit.
I'm getting normal exit first.
You're doing normal first.
Yeah, I'm doing normal exit first because the normal exit's harder. So I usually get the harder stuff out of the way. Yeah, so we're going to be doing this level twice, and it may not make any sense right now, but we're going to, but it'll make more sense later on. It'll save like a couple minutes later.
Yeah, we can talk about that later, but just keep in mind that he got this secret exit in 2-4, and that's gonna let him go to World 4? No, World 5, yeah, my bad. I've always wondered this, I guess I never asked, but is this exit even possible as Nabbit, or?
Yes, you just, yeah, those are brick blocks.
Oh, okay.
And Nabbit is a size of big character.
Oh, I see. Okay. And some of the secret exits in this game are so well hidden that they're like almost impossible to find casually. That being one of them.
There were a couple of exits that I actually had to look up to find when I was doing this scout.
Yeah, me too.
All right, so your video mentioned earlier that about rolling hills terrain and how you can conserve momentum from the rolling hills. So this level is a great example of maintaining momentum.
Yeah, I like this one in particular because there's this one part where there's a platform that you kind of go through. It's like invisible. It just looks really cool. You'll see it.
Yeah, it's right here.
Yeah. And then you have that Lakitu kill.
This is a really fun level.
Yeah, it's actually that part where the sand pillar was pushing the piranha plant upwards was like barely skidding over Luigi, so it's actually pretty easy to get hit right there in that part.
I've seen people in the chat saying that I'm too quiet, so after the castle, do you want to try volume?
Yeah, I can try to do that.
Yeah. So Two Castles is a good example of Luigi being a lot faster than Nabbit because there's a lot of big gaps that Enchan wants to get over without having to wait for those platforms to move. And as Nabbit, you would have to wait around. Oh, it is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've got 80 as Nabbit.
It's possible, but it's like super hard.
Yeah, so I mean, it's smarter as Luigi, I guess.
Also, anytime I'm entering a door, I'm trying to enter the door in the middle of the door as much as possible, which as in full speed is about maybe like 6 or 9 frame window.
Not enough frames.
Yeah. And here he gets a quick hit on the boss because otherwise the boss will just keep using his hammer to like hit the parts of that enemy at him.
Yeah, pokey.
Yeah, pokey.
Yeah.
And then if you hit him as soon as he pops out of his shell, you can just skip all of his animations, which is nice.
Yeah, so normally the normal way of going about that fight is you're supposed to wait for Morton to hammer all the body parts at you while you're trying to avoid them and then hit Morton. But you can fly over the pokey. There's also a faster strat where you can damage boost through the pokey. It saves a couple seconds, but that also means you have to re-equip Acorn after the fight, which is slower than doing the damage boost.
I have a question. Could you just run through it as Nabbit?
No.
You can't. Okay. It's interesting. Because I was gonna say Nabbit might be a bit faster, but okay. And now you're.
Well, you can with iframes, but yeah. Alright, so we're gonna do world. So you get the option between choosing worlds 3 and 4, and they both lead you to world 5. This is all castles. We have to do both the worlds. We're doing world 4 first, and this saves about 12 seconds on world 3 for doing world 4 first, and there's a reason for that later.
A weird fact. This is the only time in the series where the higher number world-size level is on.
I didn't quite catch what you said there. I'm sorry. The higher.
Every other game in the series and instance where there's a split path, the higher number level will be on the bottom.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So in this level right here, this level is easier as Luigi, but we're playing as Nabbit because the fastest end time that you get at the end of the level is a 77. And that's another instance why we play as Nabbit. Nabbit cannot get fireworks, and so when you end a level with a double-digit number, you get fireworks, which loses about 15 seconds. So when you're Nabbit, you don't have to lose a second to get for the fireworks. In order to avoid fireworks. Nabbit just avoids fireworks like by default.
Yeah, and Nabbit's animation on the flagpole is also 2 frames faster, so you gotta save the frames.
Yeah. And kill the animals.
Hey man, we just saved the animals earlier today.
In this level, I don't think it really makes a difference which character you do.
Yeah, it does.
Does it? Oh, it does.
Recently, discovered that it was like very slightly faster.
There's a new strat as Luigi found that actually saves like 3 seconds over using Nabbit.
Oh, okay. Well, then never mind.
Yeah, so unfortunately, really difficult. We made it.
Yeah, nice level. And this boss is basically the same as all the other ones. These boom boom fights don't really change all that much, since you hit him as soon as he pops up.
It's really just the first hit.
Yeah. Is the next level the ghost house? I don't remember.
No.
No, it's not.
There's
Okay.
levels before Ghost House.
Oh, close enough.
2 levels, 0 levels, same thing.
Mm-hmm. So I guess we could talk a little bit about the differences between this version and the deluxe version. So I don't know if we mentioned, but the way he's switching to Nabbit as he enters the levels is by holding the ZL button when he enters. But in the in the Switch version you can't do that. You have to actually go to like the character select map. Oh gosh. Nothing huge though. But yeah, so in the Switch version you actually have to go to a character selection screen. And it takes about 3 seconds to change characters, so
I'm not sure what happened there. That was a very interesting mistake.
that was interesting. But yeah, I think that's why I would say the original NSLU speedrun is a bit cooler, because there's a lot more character changing versus the Switch version. There's a lot of instances where it's not worth it to change the character, since you would have to go out of your way to go to that extra character select screen.
So I grabbed that acorn right there. It's you can avoid it, but because you have to cross that ring like multiple times, it makes it like slower to avoid it.
Yeah, plus it's much safer to have an acorn.
Yeah. There's about like 3 free opportunities. I passed over one of them earlier in World 1, which I like to compare that as like picking up the Sanctuary Heart Container in A Link to the Past, where if you're really good, then you can skip it. In most situations, it's usually not recommended to skip that acorn, but
it doesn't lose that much time to get it.
Yeah, it's only about it's only about 8 seconds. Alright, so this is our first ghost house. Usually in Mario games, ghost houses are very complex, where they trick the players to getting lost, but in this game, they're very linear.
Yeah, since there's such a strict time limit, they can't really be that long, so they can really go pretty quickly.
I don't know, man. Kaizo Mario World has done some pretty good stuff with ghost houses.
Oh, yeah.
True.
Just a fun fact about this game. For like every other New Super Mario Bros. Game, after you exit a door, you have to like wait for it to finish like closing before you can move, but in this game you just start moving instantly. That makes like no difference, but I just think it's cool.
So you see right here that like I like intentionally wait on the map so that I can so that I don't hit the if I just go straight on, then then I will run into the cool again and initiate a fight, which is bad.
Very slow.
Yeah, that fight in particular is really slow.
It's so bad because the Cooligans have really awful hitboxes.
Yeah.
The Cooligans are definitely one of the worst overworld enemies if you run into.
This level is kind of built for speedrunning, in a way. You're kind of intended to run through it exactly like you did.
Aren't all of these levels built for speedrunning?
Yeah, that's kind of true. So the one thing I guess we haven't mentioned about Nabbit is that Nabbit doesn't have what's called ice physics. So when he runs on ice, he doesn't slip and slide everywhere.
In this game he does, not in Deluxe.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I actually didn't know that. I only run Deluxe. Yeah, okay, well on the Switch version, Nabbit doesn't slip and slide on ice. I guess he does in the original. But that can be advantageous in some situations. Nice swag there on the boss fight.
Yeah.
Sometimes
I
like to mess around and like get hit on purpose to show that Nabbit can't die.
Yeah, as Luigi, if you try and touch those, doesn't end too well.
And yeah, that's World 4, although now M-Chain has to go back to World 3, but the reason he did World 4 first was because there's this character called Baby Yoshi that's you can pick up at the beginning of the World 4 map. So as he's making his way back, he's going to pick up Baby Yoshi, and Baby Yoshi actually saves a lot of time in World 3. And so I don't know if y'all want to explain a little bit more about Baby Yoshi.
So Baby Yoshi is only used for one level in this world, which is 3-2. And Baby Yoshi saves 20 seconds in 3-2, but it does take 8 seconds for him to grab him, so you overall save 12 seconds. It is that worth it.
Yeah, the only disadvantage to having him is that it takes longer to like start moving on the world map, and so you want to get rid of him as soon as you're done using him.
Yeah, and I play as Nabbit in 3-1 because if you're doing this as Luigi, you have to carry Baby Yoshi through the whole level, and Luigi's spike animation just straight up takes longer when you're carrying Baby Yoshi.
Yeah, so it just doesn't end up being faster than Nabbit. But yeah, here you're gonna see he just swims really fast when he's holding on to Baby Yoshi. In the Switch version of the game, you actually don't even need him because Nabbit swims at the same speed as Luigi would with Baby Yoshi, so you just use Nabbit in the Switch version. But in this game, Nabbit swims much slower. Kind of an interesting change.
In this game.
Well, yeah. He swims the same speed as Luigi. Yeah, the Switch version had some pretty interesting changes, especially with Nabbit.
They also changed Nabbit's voice.
Oh yeah, Nabbit's voice is like really annoying in the Switch version.
Petition to change it to the original.
Honestly.
So I get rid of Baby Yoshi right before I enter the pipe, so I don't carry Baby Yoshi through the pipe transition, so that way I can get rid of him. There used to be a very old route where we carry Baby Yoshi up until 3-5, but I discovered that it does take longer for you to start levels with Baby Yoshi on the map.
Yeah, so it doesn't end up being worth it.
Yeah, and it doesn't save that much time on 3-5 anyway.
And then here he's playing as Nabbit because he can just jump through all of these skewers without having to wait around. And the Fire Bros. We'll see more of those guys later.
Those guys are idiots.
Yeah, they're RNG. When they throw the fireballs, it's completely random.
As well as the pattern that they jump at.
Yeah, so it's just tough to deal with. If you're Luigi, that is. Oh gosh.
Not having good boss fights in this run.
Good enough.
Well, at least you didn't, like, completely fail.
So now's a good time to talk about controller preferences. So in this game, you can play with a Wii Remote, a gamepad, or a Pro Controller. I'm using the gamepad to play this game, which is the fastest way to play the game because anytime the game is asking me to save, I'm tapping the no option to cancel the save text right off the bat, as opposed to manually selecting no. Saves a little bit of time, but since this is a longer category than 80%, it adds up to like being a few seconds.
Yeah, and your time for this category is actually like pretty optimized, so you need those couple of seconds.
Yeah.
Like, it actually makes a big difference. And I'm guessing the main reason you use Nabbit for this is for that boo ring at the very end.
Yep.
There is a strat with Luigi you can get the same exact time, but again, anytime you beat a level as Nabbit, you save 2 frames on the flagpole.
Yeah, I gotta save those frames. Yeah, here's another instance of him just waiting for those fish to move so he doesn't have to fight them. This is another level I think is kind of built for speedrunning in a way. It's casually I found that it's a lot easier if you just run through it rather than trying to time everything.
Alright, that part was scary.
Whoa.
Oh,
yeah.
I jumped over one of the water spouts that I was supposed to land on, so I kind of got a little bit scared. Alright, so...
Yeah, and I guess... Whoa.
So now coming up is 3-5, and again, Baby Yoshi does not save time in this level, so it's not worth carrying him all the way up to
It's just so short that it doesn't make much of a difference. I guess one thing that we haven't mentioned is that since the levels are so short in this game, there are no checkpoints. So if he does die, he has to start all the way over. But hopefully that won't be an issue.
So in this level, it's a vertical swimming level, which means mashing actually matters in order to get a really good time. And I just got an 81. 81 is the fastest time you can get, but you have to mash really hard in order to get it.
Yeah, and do you mash the A and B button, or just one of them?
Just one button.
Oh, okay. It's really preference. I know some runners that like to mash both buttons at the same time, but it doesn't make too much of a difference.
Not jinx the run.
Yeah.
So in this level,
I'll try not to.
This level, it really does not matter which character you use between Luigi or Nabbit. Most people use Nabbit because of this like water room right here, because you can get hit by these torpedoes. But I use Luigi because the first and third room are easier with Luigi.
Yeah, he makes it easier to fly over everything. But in the Switch version, you want to use Nabbit since you can swim through that section faster. Unfortunately, in this game, he swims slow.
So this fight right here, like most fights, as long as you fight this guy, as long as you fight Larry the same, he's always the same. Otherwise, if you actually mess up this fight, he's pretty random.
And I guess we can talk a little bit now about why Chan got that secret exit earlier in 2-4. So the category that he's doing is all castles, but it's kind of considered the warpless category of NSLU. Although a true warpless category wouldn't actually have to go through all the castles since you get the option of doing either World 3 or World 4. And so, since it's not a true warpless category, then he is allowed to use the warps as long as he hits all of the castles at some point. And so he's going to use a warp to get to World 5 from World 2. And what that skips is it skips this really slow airship level that he would otherwise have to do, which has one, it's an auto scroller. Yeah, one, it's an auto scroller. Two, it has a really long boss fight, and three, it has a really long cutscene afterwards. Versus this level here in World 2 is really quick, and it takes him to World 5.
Yeah, so this actually,
so it ends up being faster.
Even with all this backtracking, this actually saves time over the airship. The airship is about a 3-minute level with all that considered.
Yeah, and of course he has to do the 2 for the extra time in order to get here, but it's still faster.
Oh yeah, so overall you save like roughly a minute and a half, I'd say.
You see Fade Vanity in chat.
Alright, so yeah.
No, he's in World 5.
But there is a true worthless category that's not on our leaderboard. It's called No Secret Levels, where you actually do the airship. And you do skip, and you do get to choose between 3 and 4.
World 4 is faster.
Yeah, 4 is faster. So that's the true worthless category, but it's not particularly popular.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's done a run of that.
Yeah, I've done one run of it.
Oh, okay. Was it under an hour, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Alright, so now we're in World 5. World 5 is when this category starts to get pretty interesting. We're about to break... World 5 is probably the shortest world in this category. And you'll see why later.
Yeah, and you would think he would do this kind of the same as the any % run does World 5, but it actually takes a pretty different route.
Yeah, because...
the any % run, you want to get to like this section where it's like a haunted forest, because then you can take a secret exit to get to World 7. But in this category, we still need to get to World 6 at some point, so he's going to try to get to 5 Castle as fast as possible. And so the route is a bit different.
So, yeah, in any %, you either do 5-2 normal exit or 5-3. But in this category, we get the 5-2 secret exit, which skips the entirety of the haunted forest. So,
yeah, that's another one of those secret exits where it's like,
I'm gonna go for a really hard
supposed to
strat
find
in
this
this level.
the haunted forest section actually makes a no secret exits run impossible, because you're required to get at least one.
Oh, I didn't get it. Alright, that's fine. We're gonna force a 76. So what I was trying to do there is, I was trying to land on the switch right after I did that spin on that block, and then get to the pipe as fast as I can, and you can get a 78. It's like super tight. We didn't get it, but it's really just the second half that lost right there.
Yeah, and in case anyone doesn't know what he's talking about, he doesn't want to get a 77 on the timer when he hits the flagpole, because that will trigger these fireworks that waste a lot of time. But 76 is not that much slower, so that's okay.
Alright, so I'm gonna go for another hard strat in this level, and hopefully we can get this one. So there's these sumo bros that like shoot down these lightning balls, but as long as you play this level fast enough, then you should be on cycle, and we just got it.
Nice.
Yeah, this level I think is pretty impressive looking.
It really is.
Yeah, there's a safer strat that loses a second, but that also means you have to wait for a 76.
So therefore, it loses 2 seconds.
Yeah. Alright, so we're gonna play as level as Nabbit. The whole level itself, the entirety of this level is a lot easier with Luigi, but we play as Nabbit just for like one reason.
Yeah, it's actually like kind of the coolest use of Nabbit in the run, I think.
Yeah.
We can talk about it once you're on the boss fight.
Yeah.
But with that being said, although Nabbit can't take damage, he still dies if he touches lava.
Or falls in a pit. Or
Yeah. So he's not like invincible.
Yeah, and he can also get knocked back by like some of the bigger enemies.
Yeah. So this boss fight is against Iggy Koopa, aka Idiot Koopa,
Yeah.
and
All right.
the
So
way
here's
he
the
works.
strat right here.
Okay, he shoots out this fireball from his wand, and if he goes, how do I put it? You can hit him once that fireball is gone. So whether it hits a wall or it hits you, either way, as long as the fireball's gone, then you can hit him. And so by using Nabbit, you can just destroy it instantly.
In the Switch version, you have to use Luigi, otherwise you lose more time. So this fight is completely armed.
Yeah. Also, he stays in his shell for like a random amount of time, which is different than the other Koopalings.
It's not random. It's based on... He pops out after he enters 4 fights.
Oh, wow, okay, I actually didn't know that.
But like,
But
it's
it
kind
is
of like
random.
it's kind of random as
For
to
the most
like
part, random.
you know how far
How far
out
he goes.
Yeah, how far out and how far in he goes. So it's
You want to be on, like, hugging the wall for the best chance of him to come back soon.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. But he's actually not the most RNG fight of the run. We'll see that later.
Yeah.
but Iggy's terrible.
Yeah, he's annoying.
Mm,
So 6-1. I'm trying to remember if I have the right level. This is the one that's vertical, right?
Kind of.
that
No.
was 6-3.
That's 6-3. Okay, yeah. Yeah, this is one of those levels where there's just like enemies everywhere, so it's just better to use Nabbit.
So yeah, we're in World 6 now. World 6 is easily the hardest world in the run. There's a lot. You do almost all the levels as Luigi, and a lot of the levels are cycle based, and it's very easy to mess up. And if you mess up, then your cycles could be off, and which makes it really easy to get hit. So
Yeah, someone asked in chat if Luigi handles differently than Mario in this game. The answer to that is that there is no Mario in this game. They completely removed him. He's not even in the cutscenes.
But
yeah, Luigi does control differently than Mario.
much floatier and
Yeah, compared to Mario U, Luigi does control differently. It's kind of like if you've played Mario Galaxy, it's kind of the same difference. He slips and slides a lot more, but he also jumps higher.
All right, so next level has a bit of a minor glitch, and hopefully I can do it. It's semi-consistent, but I've been doing pretty well with it. So we'll see if I get it.
M10, do you
Is this
know
block
the
clip?
stat that I used to get 84 and 6-2?
I do. Okay, we got it.
Yeah, basically what he did is there's these hidden blocks there, and he just clipped right through them without having to hit them and then wait for these things to destroy it. It saves more than it looks like it saves, and it also is way more impressive than it looks.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
So yeah, those were actually hidden blocks that I just went through. I actually went through both of them, which is actually really surprising. If you fly at a very precise time,
Yeah,
then
I've never
you just
seen...
go through.
I've never seen any of it.
If you fly at a very precise time, you can fly through the hidden blocks. Otherwise, normally you have to wait for the grolls to break open the blocks on the top, which is
And
6
here we
seconds
see
lost.
Boom Boom get some wings, which makes him a lot harder to beat. Obviously.
A lot.
The 6-3 is the vertical level I was talking about earlier, and it's just another one of those ones where Luigi's jump makes him so much faster. And You'll see Enchan doing a lot of those like big spin jumps as Luigi. Those are the same height as a triple jump, so they're a little bit higher than a normal jump, and it just lets him get a little bit higher up.
And another thing that Acorn Luigi can do is that you can cling onto walls, so it makes wall jumping easier with the Super Acorn.
Yeah.
And spin jumping as Acorn Luigi is a lot more powerful than Acorn Mario from Mario U.
Yeah, and also spin jumping with the Acorn is faster than with any other power. Or sorry, you go up higher than you do with any other power up. If you're just normal Luigi, you won't go that high.
So this level, we're gonna get a secret exit, which allows you to enter through the back door of the castle, which skips how many levels? It's one level and most of the castle.
Yeah, there's another route in World 6 that you can do, but that route involves an auto-scroller, which is not fun.
Yeah. Romaine says the 6-5 secret is just dumb, and I agree.
It really is. It's nearly impossible.
Okay, I hate this level a lot, so let's see how this goes.
Yeah, this level has a really interesting boss at the end.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, nice. This
there
boss
recently
here...
was a faster strat discovered.
I didn't go for it though.
But you're basically gonna clip through the platform right here to hit him, and it only works as Acorn Mario or Small Mario, or sorry, Luigi.
It's not really clipping through, but more just abusing hitbox.
Yeah, just kind of squeezing through, and since you can float in the air,
Really? Okay, there we go.
you can kind of stay there for a bit longer.
Okay, there we go.
That was kind of close, but at least...
Yeah, Sumo Bro has a
got
very
it.
bad hitbox, so...
It's worse in deluxe. At least when you're using Toadette from our experience.
Oh, I didn't know about that. So yeah, M-Chan's kind of gotten through the hardest part of this run, pretty much.
Yeah, so now we're going to go through the backdoor entrance, and this is the reason why we got the secret exit in 6-5. You skip a lot of the castle here when you do the secret exit in 6-5.
Yeah, those blocks that appear there are also random.
Yeah.
So he ended up getting a pretty good spawn.
Isn't it like? Never mind it.
I don't know. I thought they were random.
Yeah, they're random.
Okay.
I didn't know how many of them were random, but I think it's all of them. I'm not sure.
And this boss, just like all of them, as long as you hit him as soon as he pops out of his shell, there's really not much to the fight. And this guy pops out at the same place every time. I actually have a question, M-Chan, about the Koopaling fights in this game. I know for New Super Mario Bros. 2, after you hit them, you want to get to the side of them that's closer to the wall, and they'll move less in their shell. Does that apply to this game too?
They actually take longer to
they do.
their shell
Okay.
if you hug the side of the field.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
Except for Iggy, because
Yeah.
Alright, so this is the part of the run where this category meets up with any percent. So everything from here on out is the same thing with any percent. So we're starting off with 7-1, which is by far my least favorite level in the entire game, no matter what category it is. Hopefully we can do it.
No matter what character either.
There's a recently new strat where you can do this level as Nabbit, which saves a second, but it is not marathon save, so I will not be doing it.
Nowhere close to it.
I mean, Luigi strats are still pretty
Yeah,
precise.
so there's a 2-frame window at the end. There's a 2-frame jump near the end, and hopefully I get it. I got it. All right, there we go.
Okay, yeah.
Nice.
But it's 2 frames.
Yeah. So, if you
I didn't know it was that precise.
if you're too late, you can either get hit by the fuzzies and die, or you just slip off and die. It's very easy for your jumps to get to. It's very easy for your jump inputs to get dropped when you're on ice.
Or
Yeah.
just anywhere.
Alright. 7-2 on the other hand, doesn't really have much to talk about. So,
Yeah, this is one of the ones you can do is either Navid or Loop. Makes no difference. It's the hardest level to run, obviously.
It's like nearly impossible. This is what makes the run like not possible.
Yeah, as you can tell, most any percent attempts die in 7-2.
yeah.
But with that being said, he does do it as Nabbit to save those 2 frames on the flagpole animation.
Other than the flagpole, Nabbit saves no time in this level.
Yeah. Now here's the level that actually does kill like 9 out of 10 any percent runs. 7 Tower.
Nah, no one's ever lost a run to this level.
Oh.
Alright, so anyway, there's usually a bit of a, a harder strat with this first room, but I'm gonna take it safe this time around, because you can sometimes get hit by that dry bones. This next part here is an auto-scroller. You can either kill these fire bros or just avoid them. Sometimes, if I'm like super nervous, I try not to risk it, or if I just I mean, if you choose to fight the Fire Bros, you're kind of at a risk of losing your Acorn, because the Fire Bros have kind of random patterns.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've lost Acorn due to trying to kill the Fire Bros so many times.
Yeah, it's better to just stay above them, not worry.
Alright,
And this boss right
so,
here is
Kamek.
RNG.
Great boss, fantastic boss, 0 RNG, purely scripted. No one's ever lost a run to this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, these patterns he does at the start of the fight are completely random, so you just have to jump up to him as fast as possible. The second hit, you have no clue where he's going to appear.
I can't believe this.
That RNG.
Wow.
I
That
can't
was
believe
perfect.
this.
Isn't that like
Those spawns. Well, the second spawn for Kamek is random. The last one, he's always in the middle, but that was some insane RNG.
yeah, that's
Like I
Did you get a
said,
gold on that? I feel like you got a gold there.
no one's ever lost a run to this guy.
That was some marathon luck right there.
indeed.
In this level right here, this is kind of a YOLO jump. There are some setups that make this jump consistent, but this is the only reason why we play as Nabbit in this level. The fastest time you get is 88.
Yeah, not too much to that ghost house, but the next level 7 castle is pretty cool. I'm guessing you're going for that harder strat at the end.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Go big or go home.
Yeah, there's a strat at the end where M-Chan's gonna do a crouch jump through these 2 fire bars right as they kind of meet each other, and he can just squeeze right in between them. And yeah, he does a crouch jump because that makes Luigi's hitbox a little bit smaller so he can't get hit, but it's pretty tight.
Yeah. So in this first part, you can kind of play slow because you have to wait for this giant block to pass by you. But for the second part of this level, I am going to slow down in order to get a good firebar cycle near the end of the level. So it looks just like this, and there we go.
Spoilers.
So that's abusing the fact that you can cling onto walls with Acorn Luigi. It is very easy to get hit even when you actually get that strat.
Yeah, it's a very tight jump.
Yeah, so which is why I slowed down to make the firebar cycle consistent.
Yeah, this boss, he normally like makes clones of himself and you're supposed to figure out which is the right one, but if you just hit him immediately, then you don't have to worry about any of that. Although, if you end up messing that up and have to figure out which is the clone and which is the real one is always the one that shoots more fireballs from his wand.
The one that lands last.
Okay, I actually didn't know that.
It's the one that shoots the most fireballs, yes.
Yeah.
But the real one does tend to fall down last.
Okay.
I've never seen it fall down not last.
The more you know. But yeah, good tip for playing casually.
Alright, so...
Apparently the real one also has his eyes more open.
Alright, so we
yeah.
skipped an airship, and we have a mandatory airship coming up. And this airship is usually an autoscroller, but I'm going to try and skip it. It's kind of difficult, but I do have a setup for it that makes it consistent, but I can still mess it up. But we'll see if I can get it.
Yeah, there aren't too many like long auto scrollers in this game, just because of the 100-second time limit. Yeah, and Mario U, this auto scroller is extremely long. In this game, it's not that bad.
Yeah, it's like 6 minutes long.
Yeah.
And I got it.
That is super cool looking.
That's spoilers.
Those coins, you can actually jump on top of them.
It's not that you can jump on top of the coins, but you can jump on top of the parachutes. That
Yeah, exactly. And this Bowser Jr. fight that's coming
Fantastic boss.
it has the worst hitbox of all time. Even when it looks like you can hit him, you can't. You have to wait for like a certain amount of time before you can land on his head, but normally you're supposed to wait for him to come down and then you can hit him, but with some really good spin jumps and flying, you can hit him while he's still in the air.
Okay, there we go. Alright, so
Yeah,
recently
nice job.
new time save right here. If you want to go ahead and land on the left side of the field of the battlefield, and that's because this the left side of the blocks falls down first, and the screen just fades sooner when you are on the left side of the blocks.
Yeah, it's a really cool time save.
Yeah.
Also, I
saves-
noticed you do different strats for Bowser Jr. than I do. I usually don't stay in the air after hitting him. I jump up there every hit.
Yeah, there's a few different approaches. Since I usually focus on longer categories of this game, I usually go for consistency.
Oh, that makes sense. So now you'll be entering World 8. World 8 actually takes a different route than the Mario U run does, interestingly enough. In New Super Mario Bros. U, there's a secret exit in 8-1, but you don't take it in NSMBU because it leads to an auto-scroller. But in this game, like I said, there's not many long auto-scrollers, so you end up taking that secret exit. So that's what M-Chan's gonna do.
Alright, Peach's Castle. We made it back. After getting thrown away.
getting thrown away an hour ago.
Yep. Take that, Bowser. Alright.
I predict this run is gonna be sub 1 hour.
So
It's gonna be 59:59.
So this level has like 3 random patterns that the fireballs can give you, but it's not really that big of a deal if you're playing as Nabbit. However, as Nabbit, there's only like 2 patterns that matter. So we'll see what happens.
No, if you hit a fireball as Nabbit...
we got the slightly bad pattern, but it's not a big deal as Nabbit.
Okay, if you hit a fireball as Nabbit, does it still give you that knockback animation?
No.
Oh, it doesn't. Okay. I wasn't sure.
Playing as Luigi is technically faster in this level, but that's only if you get the good RNG, and obviously, when you're this late into the run, it is not worth taking the risk.
Yeah, for that like 1 second of time save.
Even at any percent.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, and as I mentioned, 8-4 in the original game is an auto-scroller, so you wouldn't see that. But in this category, it's a really short level. Or in this game, it's a really short level.
Well, technically, 8-4 is faster if you don't do the skip in 8-2, but we're not gonna.
But you should do the skip in 8-2.
Okay.
There's a yellow strat that in this level that saves like
Did I say
half
4?
a second, but it's like really inconsistent, and it's
Yeah.
obviously not marathon safe, so I'm not going for it.
Have you ever gotten an 88 for this level? Just wondering.
No.
Oh, okay. Anyway.
Not sure if
But
that's
the yellow strat allows you to get an 87, which is like
Okay.
ridiculously hard. Alright, so this is elevator skip. There's 2 rooms where you have to ride the elevator, but we're gonna be skipping both of them. So here's the first room. Pretty easy. The second room, there's like 2 different approaches. You can either go safe or you can go really big. I'm gonna choose to go big.
Go big
Yeah,
or
and
go home.
something M-Chan's doing is he's tilting his gamepad to the right to move those platforms before he jumps off them, just to make the jumps a little less tight.
Yeah. So
Wow.
So that right there, that jump out is very specific. You have to jump low enough so you don't hit the bomb on the top, and high enough so that you don't hit the electric spark. So it's very particular.
Yeah, that was really insane. With that, he's into the last level now.
Yeah.
And this level's cool because it's kind of based around Bowser Jr. and his clown car. And so he's going to try to get kind of to the side of the clown car so that when Bowser Jr. moves, he'll just kind of move along with him. And it speeds things up a lot,
Yeah,
as
so,
you'll see.
This first room depends on your movement, but there's a. Okay. Okay. Well, we got part of it, but basically, if you can do it right, you can actually get a bit of a boost with Bowser Jr.'s clown car, which saves like a full second if you can do it right. We got part of it, but not the full thing.
Yeah, because the level's so short, it doesn't make a huge difference in this game. And New Super Mario Bros. U, it makes more of a difference.
Just because of the length.
And in this room, the fireballs are always the same. Alright, this is the hardest boss in the game. Let's go.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
And if time ended on hitting this switch here, then sub 1 hour would be very good, but unfortunately that's not where it ends. That would have been really funny. But yeah.
Really would.
Just like most of the other games in the series, there's a part 2 to this Bowser fight, which is actually like the coolest Bowser fight in the whole series, I think.
I personally prefer Mario U's version of this fight. Hope you agree.
Oh, yeah. As if it's not the exact same fight.
Oh, totally not.
So basically what Enchan's gonna do here at the beginning of the fight is he's gonna fly right up in Bowser's face, and what that does is Bowser normally shoots out these fireballs, but you can skip one of them by doing that. It's called Fireball Skip, and it saves like 2 seconds.
So time's coming up on the 3rd hit of this fight.
Yeah, just like every Mario game, Bowser takes 3 hits. Also, having the acorn for this fight is advantageous because it lets you get to the clown car a little bit easier.
That is bad.
I didn't see what happened. Oh, that's interesting. Dang. This run actually would have been like really close to the record if that hadn't happened.
Yeah. All right. That was my fault. I was trying to
That's
go
not
for.
a big deal.
I was trying to go for a YOLO strat, which is not the safest thing to do, but I paid for it.
You go for a YOLO strat when you could say, "Oh, I'm not going for any of these inconsistent strats"?
Well, now you get to see what happens if you don't get
Yeah,
these
so
quick
you don't,
hits on
yeah,
Bowser.
you don't want to see this.
Yeah, and it actually loses like, I don't know, 15 seconds. I say only, that's kind of a lot.
Well,
but
15 seconds, but maybe more depending on what Bowser's attack patterns are.
yeah, and you'll see he wants to prioritize hitting Bowser Jr. before getting in the clown car, because sometimes you'll car, and then Bowser Jr. will like jump up in the air and knock you out.
Time. Alright, so the time is
really
102.37.
Yeah, that is a really good time. That would have been a really low 102 had he not made that mistake at the end. And the record for this is 101.51, I believe.
Yeah, the world record is 101.51 by me. So this run beats every single run on the leaderboards except for my own.
Yeah, I just want to mention that you didn't get hit a single time in the entire run. Yeah. Which is really crazy.
So the last time I ran this at a marathon, I got a 105.03, and if I was using the other timing, we recently changed our timing rule to map movements, and so which saves about 1 minute and 47 seconds. So this would have been like a really low 104. So I definitely achieved my goal of the run. So I'm really happy with how this run went. Otherwise.
Oh wow! Yeah. That's really crazy.
Yeah.
That's a good run.
104.14?
Yeah, about that.
No, wait, 104.24. But still.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so people in chat, what'd y'all think about this run? Hope you all had fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
So, I guess while we have the time, I guess I can go ahead and shout out some people here. I want to go ahead and there's like a lot of names, but I want to most notably shout out Ewaller, who's old school New Super Mario Bros. Series runner, who does not run anymore, but his 100% world record at the time was my inspiration getting to this game 3 years ago. I also want to shout out Supernova TV and Stash, who both kind of disappeared at this point. But my competition between myself and those two was what motivated me to push myself into getting really good at this game. And we have a really awesome. We have a NSMB series Discord server for anybody who's interested in learning this game or any of the other NSMB games. This is a very hard speed game, but it's definitely very rewarding once you get really good at it. Like, the movement is easily the hardest part of the game, but once you get used to the movement, then a lot of the tricks aren't necessarily hard to do. But we also have other games in the series. Like, we combine all 5 games in the community into one community. So, like, you know, Diamond Crafter here, who's a top level NSMBW runner, and then UVideo, who's a top level NSMB2 runner.
And top level NSMBW runner as well.
Yeah.
Not as top level as you, but yeah.
You're close.
But yeah, we have a very helpful community. So, you know, if you want to hang out in our Discord server, we're always welcome to help anybody new who's interested in learning any of the games.
Yeah, like NSMBW does have its own server, but there is still a channel in the series Discord for it.
Yeah, and we also have a any percent relay coming up for all 5 games for anybody who's interested in. If you want to learn this game, this would be your good chance if you want to participate.
Yeah, submissions are still open, so you still have a bit of time to learn the game.
And more people
submit.
More teams.
Yeah, the details haven't quite been determined for the relay yet, so we're not sure how many teams there are going to be.
Yeah.
But Yeah, the whole series is a lot of fun to run. So yeah, if you want to join the Discord and just have questions about the games, I know the three of us are on there pretty often
Yeah.
to answer questions, and a lot of other people as well. Yeah. And personally, I know about most of the games.
I do too.
Yeah, so
I think all three of us do.
yeah, that's true. I think we've all run all of the games at some point or another.
Yeah. So I think we still have plenty of time before the next run. So yeah, my current. So I guess I can talk about that. Yes, the current world record is 101.51 by me, and I do run all 5 of the NSMB games along with 2D Zelda games as well. But my current goal is to get top 15 in all of the warpless categories of all 5 of the NSMB games, which means that Andre_MH, someday I'm coming for ya.
Someday. Yeah, wait, just wondering, you mentioned that you did a no secret levels run of this game. What was your time for that?
It was a 56, but it could be down a lot more.
Okay, that's interesting though. I would probably try to run that at some point.
Yeah. I guess we can probably show this off here. The secret island gets unlocked, and then there's also a bonus world called the Superstar Road, which we only do in 100% because we can't do the Superstar Road in this category because we don't have all the star coins.
Yeah. Oh, something I never mentioned. If you don't mind, I just wanted to say this real quick. All castles might seem like kind of an arbitrary category because it's just kind of weird to like do all the backtracking and stuff. But on your file select screen, you get a flag for each of the castles that you finish, and so the goal of the run is just to get all 8 of those flags.
Yeah, and it has like the true and I feel like it has the true nature of what Warpless really is. You beat all the worlds as fast as possible.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, what would be the point of skipping only one castle?
Yeah. So yeah, this is what the secret island looks like. It basically it keeps track of all your stats right here, for the most part. So I jumped on 0 Goombas, so I guess I'm proud of that.
You jumped on 0 Goombas the entire run.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Well.
Yeah. So
looks like time's up for us.
Yeah. So yeah. Thanks everyone for watching, and stay tuned for Zelda 2. Zelda 2 100% all keys is a very good run. You guys do not want to miss that at all. And Rezo is a really good runner, so be sure to stick around for that. So any last words from you guys?
Yeah, just like thanks for letting us commentate. It was a lot of fun. Good job.
Yeah, that was a really great run.
Alright, awesome.